This is Cassandra Shag, founder of Sip Wine and Beer, and this is WineVersations, where the best conversations take place over a bottle of wine. I am so excited to have the McBride Sisters, Robin and Andrea. If you don't know the McBride Sisters, you're gonna know them today because they are the largest Black-owned female wine business in the United States. And I am so lucky to have them here to talk about their journey and the legacy that they are going to leave for Black girls all around the globe. Ladies, let's cheers.
Yes.
Let's cheers to Black History Month,
Cheers to Black History Month.
Black Sisters,
Black Sisters
Sisters.
for sure.
Black Excellence,
Definitely Black Excellence.
and Black Girl Magic with the McBride
Yes.
Sisters.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So let's talk about your story. How did the McBride Sisters, how did this happen?
It's a long story. So once upon a time, there was two little girls who didn't know about each other.
Okay.
I was growing up in Monterey, in California, up the coast. Andrea was in New Zealand and on the coast, in beautiful little town, but completely unaware of the fact that we each had sisters somewhere in the world. And so we have two different mothers. I'm older by 9 years, and my mom and our dad in LA. We were both born in LA, but my mom and our dad split up, and my mom was kind of like, so she moved up the coast to Monterey, and we just did our thing, and life kept going. Andrea's mom and our dad got married, and Andrea was born in Los Angeles, and he was still foolish a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
So
A lot of it.
a lot of it.
Yeah.
So Pops was a Rolling Stone.
Right.
Exactly.
That's it.
All that and more.
All that. They divorced. Andrea's mom was originally from New Zealand, and so she took Andrea back to New Zealand when Andrea was like 5 or 6 or so. And unfortunately, her mom had terminal breast cancer, and so when they arrived back in New Zealand, her mom passed away, like shortly after they got there. So Andrea didn't have any contact with our dad or his family, and so she grew up between an uncle out in the country in New Zealand and foster care. Yeah, and so she didn't know about me. She was not connected to our dad's family at all, so she just didn't know. So it wasn't until fast forward many years that our father was informed that he had cancer and that he was probably not going to survive it, that he asked his family to try to find both of us.
Wow.
And which was hard because that was the 90s.
Yeah.
And
That was no Facebook.
no Facebook.
No Google.
No 23andMe.
Yeah. No 23andMe. And so it took quite a while, but eventually they found Andrea in New Zealand. They found me. I'd moved to Atlanta at that point, so they found me, and we found out about each other, and we met pretty quickly as soon as we learned about each other, and that's when the McBride Sisters started.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
So talk about why wine?
Well, why not?
So one of the things that we figured out when we first met was that we both grew up on and around vineyards. And independent of each other, we wanted to be winemakers. And so when we met, we figured out that we probably had the opportunity to do something pretty special. That was our audacious dreams of, making wine in 2 different countries,
Right.
where we authentically had true roots and where we came from. Also being a woman-founded and Black-owned wine company.
Yes.
And we also felt like our approach to wine, our perspective, being women and women of color, like our creativity, we just felt like we could open this community to people that were new to wine, people sort of like in the middle of their wine experience, or, if you were a pro, we felt like we could build this community and offer something that the wine industry wasn't doing, because for so many years wine has been sort of dictated by a really small group of people.
Absolutely. And that's why we are blessed to be here today.
That's right.
Yes.
Because women like you who trailblaze and give, people like me the strength to say, yep, we're going to do this. We're going to sell some wine and make wine. And so, yes. So entrepreneurship is hard.
Yes.
Yes.
It's stressful.
It is.
Tell me.
It's exciting.
It is.
It's the roller coaster.
So the hustle is real.
The hustle is real.
So how do you keep the hustle going? I guess it's two parts. It's how do you keep it going? How did you get the start? How do you get people to buy in? How does that all happen? And then we're here in 2020.
Yeah, I think for us, it was having a really precise vision when we started, knowing exactly who we were and where we wanted to go. And then I think like the second thing was understanding that we needed to learn the business of our passion. Very different things.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Because you can get lost in the passion and then
Right.
I'm broke.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
And then I think the third piece that's really, really important when you're embarking on anything that's entrepreneurial is really understanding your purpose. And it can be varying. For some people, it is like monetary. Like there's no
And it
problem
can
with
evolve.
that. Yeah, and it can also evolve. So I think for Robin and I, it was, we wanted to change the face of wine for our community and for the industry.
Yeah.
Those kind of three things combined together were our North Star.
Yeah.
And so, when you're on that crazy roller coaster and things are hard and you wake up in the morning, you're just like,
Lord.
Like, for real.
That North Star of like why you're doing this, helps you to stay on the grind, helps you to stay focused, and slowly just keep on chipping away at it.
And I think too, like the tremendous support that we've had from the consumers, from the people who buy our wines, which I don't know that we'd really kind of factored that in initially when we started in the wine business, but it turned out that we had so much great support. It's kind of like, oh, okay, like that's fuel for us, right? It's like we can't let anybody down. Like we have to be great. We have to make this great. We have to create great things. We feel that we have a lot of people who are really depending on us to help kick down some of these doors and to make space for everyone.
So we have some McBride Sisters wine collection. You have a number of wines. You have She Can, you have Black Girl Magic, and then you have the McBride Sisters. How did Black Girl Magic launch? Because I saw Black Girl Magic on social media, and I saw sisters, they were holding wine, read about you in Essence, and I think what's bringing people here tonight for the Black Girl Magic event is just that. You have Black women who are saying, oh my God, like the people who made this wine are gonna be here and I have to show up. So talk about what's the magic behind Black Girl Magic?
Well, it started for us, so Essence Festival year before last. So we were invited to join the mayor for the opening night festivities. And at that time, New Orleans, Essence Festival was held in New Orleans in July. New Orleans had just elected its first Black woman mayor. And so along with a celebration of that year, there was just a lot of Black Girl Magic going on. There was, there always is in our world, but there was a lot of recognition that year. So there was Academy Awards. It was just kind of like one thing after another. So Andrea and I were like, we're gonna show up to Essence Festival like with something like special. Like this is a special year. We're gonna make like some type of special production. And so we made Black Girl Magic and we presented it to the mayor of New Orleans on the stage opening night of Essence Festival. And we're usually pretty like right on about things, and we truly underestimated
The power?
the power of what that bottle represented to so many people, because we only produced like, I don't know how many, not enough cases to fulfill the growing demands for that brand. Everybody was clearly as excited about it as we were, and we had to go home from Essence Festival and figure out how we were going to schedule in to produce some more wines. And so we launched with the off-dry Riesling for Black Girl Magic, and then we added a still rosé and a red blend this year to complete the collection.
So what's She Can all about?
So She Can is super special to us, something that Andrea and I are very excited about. Oh, and here she is now. So this is, we've been making really amazing wines, obviously, for years in bottle, and this was our first opportunity to put some of these wines into a can. She Can, obviously, all about women and women's empowerment. Another little fun tidbit there is that we designed the cans. If you look on the cans, kind of in this metallic, there's like fruits and flowers and flavors that you'll find in the wines themselves. This is a dry rosé, California rosé, and New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. And then we also designed the lioness here that we pulled out of our main crest for our business, but each of these are dedicated to each of our mothers. So the California wine has the initials of my mom, Coco. on it, and then the initials of Andrea's birth mother and the foster mother who raised her. And then we launched She Can on International Women's Day last year, and along with the launch of the product, we were able to announce the McBride Sisters She Can Professional Development Funds.
I might know a little something.
You might know a little something about that. Congratulations on being one of the award recipients, but very important and special for Andrea and I to be able to give back in that way to women in the wine and spirits industry to help further their careers, whether into leadership and ownership roles. So,
And I think, you know, prior to launching the fund, you know, we'd get a lot of incoming emails like, you know, how do I start? Where do I start?
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to be able to provide, you know, mentorship, but there's a lot of people, we
Yes.
realized,
Yeah.
you know, there's only a certain amount of hours in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we felt like when we thought about places where women could excel, it's like access to information,
Yes.
it's like certification. So that's why we really focused the fund around that. And I think also too, we talk about a lot is, if we're kind of talking about entrepreneurship, is being women, and then, you know, being a woman of color, there's going to be these challenges, you know, all the time.
So let's talk about some of those challenges.
Okay.
Well, top 3 challenges.
Top 3. Black woman entrepreneur.
A, B, C,
Right.
We were talking with somebody about this the other day, and it's like, when you go into entrepreneurship, you need to expect that everything is going to go wrong. You're going to have a plan, but it's not going to go to plan. And there are going to be times when people are going to discriminate against you. But what's so important is what you do with that. And it's really, really easy to get bogged down by the negative of, this is why I'm not winning. This is why I can't get to this place. And what ends up happening, like when you take on that mentality, and it's happened to me, you know, it starts to cloud like your focus and your optimism that you need as an entrepreneur to get you to where you need to go. So I think, you know, to all those entrepreneurs, you know, when you go through these challenges, just be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Try not to get into the negative, and just, that's your job as an entrepreneur. Figure out the solution. What's the solution?
Figure it out.
Yeah, to get you to your goal.
So let's talk about the industry. I think the stats are there's less than 4% representation of women. And I'm going to say there's even less.
Less than 1% women of
Women.
color. Yeah.
So how do you tackle that? How do you walk in the door and you have all these winemakers, and it's a good old boys club, and then you got Black Girl Magic Wine sitting on the table? What do you do?
Yeah, I think you know, our approach is you have to find allies. The best way to build allies is social proof. You know, so like tonight, it's going to be a packed house.
Yes.
You know, people are going to turn out.
Yes.
You know, and so if the industry can see that there's this really big opportunity, and there's a group of people that are really curious about wine, really want to get into wine, but aren't being served, you know, that's how we approach it. Like, let's show you with social proof that there's a need here, there's an opportunity, and hopefully we can be a part of it together.
Talk about what Black Girl Magic means to the culture and what the wine and spirits industry means for the culture.
Well, I think like the big miss is the industry's approach to Black women when it comes to wine. And so the industry tells women, especially Black women, that you should like Moscato, and like, this is your lane. Like, this is the lane you get to play in. What we've found is, you know, when we look at how you approach wine, you find when you just sit and talk with people that there is this like stigma of like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to ask. It's not very empowering. Ask questions, be curious. You can drink more than just Moscato, that's okay. And let us like guide you, you know, and if you don't like it, that's okay.
Right, fine.
It's all
You
good.
know, and you know what you like.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. And as we know in anything, your taste is going to change. It's going to evolve. And the beautiful thing about wine is there's thousands of wine regions around the world. And so you can explore and taste and
For the rest of your days.
So here's a question. Y'all gonna make a Black Girl Magic Moscato, you know it's gonna sell like hotcakes, right?
if we're true to ourselves.
No.
Well, that's the thing. Is like I think for me, like, you know, everything that we do, it has to be an authenticity around what we're really passionate about from a true wine perspective, the places
Yeah.
that we grew up. And Moscato is just not one of those varieties that.
And not in
That
the
we draw to.
places that we make
Yeah.
wine.
Yeah.
But
you know.
however, we did think about this,
Yeah.
and that's why we made the off-dry Riesling.
Okay.
Because we felt like for all those folks that love Moscato, we could introduce them to the same profile,
Yeah.
but a little bit more upgraded. So
Yep.
you have your sweetness, you have all those
It's already
beautiful tropical,
evolved.
you have all
Yeah.
those beautiful tropical fruits that you love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just our approach to that style of wine. So we're hoping that we can give you what you want,
Okay.
but it's authentic to from where we're from.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sip Wine and Beer is now going to carry Black Girl Magic from here on out.
Thank you.
So you have the San Diego market now cornered of Black women selling McBride Sisters Black Girl Magic wine. But for those who do not live in San Diego, where can they get Black Girl Magic?
Go to McBrideSisters.com. On our website, we have a store locator you can purchase directly from us, or you can find anywhere locally that might sell the wine near you.
Cool. Where can people follow you on Instagram, Facebook?
McBride Sisters, McBride
everything.
Sisters,
McBride Sisters on
McBride
IG,
Sisters, McBride
Twitter,
Sisters.
Facebook, McBride Sisters, everything.
Alrighty. So tonight is a great event. We have over 200 people coming in here
Yes.
to witness Black Girl Magic. So usually when I toast to close out WineVersations, I usually do a toast. But this is your night. You ladies are the main event, and so I'm gonna let you do the toast.
It's our night. It's our night.
It's our night
Yes.
together.
Yes.
I think we do a toast to Black Girl Magic.
Yes, we toast to sisterhood, breaking down barriers, and Black excellence.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.